Underwater encounters can make a great splash in your games. But in all seriousness, underwater encounters are a great thing to have because they are truly unique and the stakes are high and there's just a lot of great things going on for them. So let's go over why underwater encounters are fan-friggin-tastic. First off, breathing is a big deal. Normally, under normal circumstances, the player characters can do anything and everything they want at any time, at any pace. But if there is a ticking clock, if you say, hey, you're holding your breath now, what are you doing? Then the clock is ticking. That's a lot of fun. You have to work under pressure. What's going on? Of course, there is many workarounds. There's plenty of spells and plenty of magical items and many abilities that let you just breathe underwater. But if you don't have those in there, then the clock is ticking. Also, something I want to tack on is it states that you can hold your breath for a time equal to your con mod and this and that. But me personally, I house rule it where if you take a certain amount of damage, you have to make a con save, and if you fail that con save, then you let out your breath and then the clock is ticking. Another reason why underwater encounters are unique is that visibility is usually reduced. And this is a big deal because normally we're working in environments where we can see all around us and we have all those people that perk up their glasses and say, DM, I've got dark vision, I can see everything. Well, that doesn't matter if the water is murky or if it is dark as can be or if there's a blinding light or whatever the case may be. Underwater encounters usually have reduced visibility, and that means there could be something looming right there next to you, and you'd have no idea. Really awesome. It makes the things a lot more intimate. You have to get right up to things to actually interact with them and look at them and see what's going on. Now, everything is harder underwater. This is awesome because normally we are working with these totally awesome characters that can do everything, but it turns out that even opening a door underwater could be difficult. Trying to open up that chest, and of course fighting is a big deal. Everything being harder underwater means that they get to truly reflect on how good they have it when they're not underwater. Now, this also provides a fun challenge to a strong team. When you have that team that always puts out all this damage and they can interact with the environment in every which way, then guess what? Boom, you put them underwater and that fireball isn't hitting so hard anymore. And the fighters that are swinging their big heavy swords are now swinging at disadvantage. And all these various things. When you tack on all these challenges against them, when they are normally so strong, so courageous, then when they're at their lowest, they try and compete. That's a great thing because once again, they can reflect on how easy they have it back up on the surface. And if they succeed, then they can say, woo, look at that. We took it out that thing and we did that challenge underwater, easy peasy. And honestly, one of the most alluring aspects for me for underwater encounters is the 3D environment is completely unique. Normally you are stuck with your boots on the ground, you are walking around everywhere. But when you have a 3D environment, there is so much crazy stuff you can do in regards to the verticality of an engagement and interacting with certain puzzles and looking around environments. Having a 3D space in which you can interact with, whether you swim up and down, left and right, all those various things, having that 3D environment is just totally awesome because you are not going to have encounters like it on the surface more often than not. I wanted to bring up underwater encounters because there is a lot of great things you can do, and I think a lot of people kind of sleep on them. A lot of people seem to forget that adventures can fully well operate underwater. Maybe not at their best degree, maybe they're not as good, but that's part of the challenge, it's part of the fun. Try slipping in an underwater encounter in your adventures, and I promise you, your players are going to remember it just because of how unique it is. And it doesn't necessarily need to be a combat encounter. It could be them trying to open up a chest, or it could be them trying to solve a puzzle underwater. It could be something. But having underwater encounters is just a completely unique experience, a ton of fun. And if you make it much more frequent, because you're doing like a high seas adventure, or this is a water themed dungeon, it's going to make it that much sweeter. So go ahead and tell me, are all of your PCs gonna be holding their breaths, or is there some sort of magical item or magic spell and no one has to worry about that? Will your super optimized party cry when their abilities aren't nearly as strong underwater, or are they going to relish the new challenge? And what unique encounters are you gonna have that utilize the 3D environment that you find yourself in? Go ahead and tell me those things because I would love to hear it. But that's gonna do it for me. Thank you for watching. Thanks for listening. And thank you to my amazing patrons. You guys are absolutely incredible. Thank you so very much. and I cannot wait to see you all in the next one.